I had never imagined that a single sentence could change everything. But the day she said it, it felt like the final strike in a long series of wounds. Don't come near me. Her name is Emily. We had been together for 7 years, a relationship full of highs, lows, and the usual struggles, but I had always believed in us. I tried to support her, to understand her moods, to be patient. But over the last few months, something had shifted. She became distant, critical, and cold. Conversations that used to end with laughter now ended in tension, sometimes anger, sometimes silence. That morning I called her to talk about something important, our future, our plans, anything to reconnect. She answered, voice clipped and harsh. I don't want to see you. Don't come near me. Leave me alone. Shock rooted me to the spot. I tried to reason, to ask what had changed, to remind her of all the moments we had shared, the love we had built. But her words were sharp and final. That was it. No explanation, no compromise, just a wall. I felt a rage simmering inside me at first, but I didn't act on it. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I left. Quietly. I walked out of her apartment, out of her life, and didn't look back. It wasn't easy. For weeks I struggled to reconcile the pain of leaving someone I loved with the clarity that staying would only trap me in toxicity. I focused on myself, my work, my health, my friends. I rebuilt routines, habits, and boundaries that had been eroded by years of trying to fix something that was breaking from the inside. Then, the ripple effect began. Emily started reaching out, not to reconcile, but with confusion, anger, and eventually desperation. Friends told me she had been calling repeatedly, showing up at places I frequented, trying to draw attention, trying to provoke a reaction. But I didn't respond. Silence became my shield. Patience became my ally. Weeks later, I heard from mutual friends that she was falling apart. She had been distant at work, lost in her own thoughts, crying over memories, questioning decisions. The same woman who had pushed me away had become a mirror of the chaos she had created in our relationship. I didn't feel vindictive. I didn't relish her struggle. What I felt was calm, almost peaceful, knowing that I had chosen self-respect over compromise, boundaries over chaos, and survival over being pulled into someone else's spiral. By leaving, I hadn't hurt her with words or actions. I had simply removed myself from the situation. And sometimes, that's the hardest lesson for others to accept, that they can't control you, that you don't need their validation, and that leaving is a choice of strength, not weakness. Months later, I found a rhythm I hadn't felt in years. My days were mine. My nights were calm. I laughed more freely, slept more deeply, and planned a future without the fear of unpredictable anger or rejection hanging over me. Every step forward reminded me of the power in walking away. And Emily? She was learning, slowly, painfully, that some doors, once closed with intention, are not meant to be reopened. That life doesn't always bend to manipulation, that love doesn't thrive in coercion, and that absence can teach lessons louder than confrontation. The final lesson was clear. Respect yourself enough to leave when someone refuses to meet you halfway. Protection, patience, and boundaries are not cruel. They are essential. And sometimes the best revenge, or perhaps the truest justice, is simply to walk away and build a life they cannot touch. Because in the end, leaving for good didn't destroy anyone. It revealed the truth, restored my strength, and forced her to confront the consequences of pushing away someone who truly cared. I left. And now, quietly, life is teaching her what love without respect truly feels like.